Good morning. Today's reading is taken from the Gospel of John, chapter 10, reading from verse 11. I am the good shepherd. The good shepherd sacrifices his life for the sheep. A hired hand will run when he sees a wolf coming. He will abandon the sheep because they don't belong to him, and he isn't their shepherd. And so the wolf attacks them and scatters the flock. The hired hand runs away because he's only working for the money and doesn't really care about the sheep. I am the good shepherd. I know my own sheep and they know me, just as my Father knows me and I know the Father. So I sacrifice my life for the sheep. I have other sheep too that are not in this sheepfold. I must bring them also. They will listen to my voice, and there will be one flock with one shepherd. The Father loves me because I sacrifice my life so that I may take it back again. No one can take my life from me. I sacrifice it voluntarily, for I have the authority to lay it down when I want to, and also to take it up again. For this is what my Father has commanded. When he said these things, the people were again divided in their opinions about him. Some said, he's demon-possessed, he's out of his mind. Why listen to a man like that? And others said, this doesn't sound like a man possessed by a demon. Can a demon open the eyes of the blind? My name is Mark Houston and I studied at St Mellitus from 2015 until 2018, and I recently became priest in charge of 7 churches. Don't be going all revelationary on me. It's simply the number of congregations in this benefice. And of course, so far I've been unable to hold Sunday worship in any of the buildings. Some of us meet on Zoom, others receive a weekly liturgy with prayers and a reflection in the post, and others will listen to the services which are broadcast on the radio or on the television. In conversations I've had, I have picked up that each of the congregations have their own slight preferences, their own flavours. Some enjoy the odd lay-led service of the word, others always want a communion. Some have preferences over which service book to use, the style of singing. Does he or does he not wear his robes? So nothing out of the ordinary. And in fact, the differences here are not as stark as they might be in other parts of the country. But having 7 churches to care for makes me think of the shepherd with his different sheepfolds. The fact that I'm in a rural setting and don't have to go far before seeing some sheep helps. But it always reminds me of generous orthodoxy, a phrase that the founders of St Mellitus used in its early days to describe the approach the college would take to bring together the mainstream traditions of the church in a mission-focused and spirit-inspired way, as it would seek to train students across the breadth of the Church of England and beyond. I don't know if you would count different church congregations as individual sheepfolds, but the words of Jesus in this passage remind us that we, in our form of orthodoxy, are not the only ones Jesus died for. In this benefice, I will be seeking to build strong relationships with the local Methodist chapels. I will be hoping to encounter Christians who live here but belong to some of the other church communities that you will find in and around Penrith. And I also believe that when Jesus talks about other sheep who are not in this sheepfold, he's speaking about anyone who professes a love and a belief of Jesus but is not part of a church community, or who doesn't feel welcome in their local church congregation. So wherever you are, there will be people who fit into these categories. And there will be other categories of folk who sit in their sheepfold following the same shepherd that you and I profess to follow. They are the people that we may not know. So as you walk around today, remember these words of Jesus. I know my own sheep, and they know me. I sacrifice my life for the sheep. I have other sheep, but not in this sheepfold.